Everyone told her to leave. Her mom, her sisters, the people who loved her most. She stayed anyway, because she believed in for better or worse. She believed marriage meant endurance. She believed love meant sacrifice. What she didn't know was that worse would cost her every child she never got to hold, and that the man who broke her body would replace her with the one person she trusted most. On a quiet March morning in 2019, blood stained the walls of a suburban home on Maple Ridge Drive, and the truth behind it didn't begin with violence. It began with silence. Grace Marie Bennett was born in Savannah, Georgia, the youngest of 4 daughters in a home where faith came before comfort and marriage came before self. Her father worked the docks. Her mother cared for the sick and dying. From the time Grace could walk, she was taught one rule above all others. You don't give up on family. Leaving wasn't strength. Leaving was failure. Grace absorbed that lesson completely. Teachers called her kind. Friends called her dependable. Her family called her the helper. But helpers don't always know when they're being used. In her mid-20s, Grace moved to Atlanta for work. A fresh start at a major trauma hospital. New city, new independence, no safety net. That's when he noticed her. Vincent Hollister. Confident, charming, the kind of man who asks questions and waits for the answers. He didn't rush her. He didn't pressure her. He listened, and for the first time in months, Grace felt seen. The relationship moved fast, but not recklessly. Daily calls, thoughtful gestures, a man who seemed protective, not controlling. Her family was relieved. Her friends were happy. When Vincent proposed, Grace said yes without hesitation, because she believed she had finally done everything right. What she didn't realize was that attention can become surveillance, and affection can become ownership. The first months of marriage were calm. Quiet dinners, talk of children, plans for the future. Then came the drinking, then the comments, then the grabbing. The first time he hurt her, he cried afterward. He promised it would never happen again. Grace forgave him, because forgiveness had been drilled into her since childhood. She told no one. When Grace got pregnant, she believed everything would change. It didn't. The violence escalated. The monitoring intensified. By the time she lost the baby, she blamed herself. The second pregnancy ended the same way. So did the third. By the time doctors were forced to remove her uterus to save her life, Grace apologized to him. "I'm sorry I couldn't give you a child." That was the moment something inside her broke completely. While Grace was grieving, while she was disappearing inside her own home, Vincent was already gone with her best friend, the woman who held her hand at her wedding, the woman who knew her pain, or so she thought. When Grace found out, the truth landed all at once. The abuse, the lies, the replacements. Her suffering had never been enough. On a March evening in 2019, Grace invited her former best friend over to talk. What happened next would end 3 lives and mark one woman forever. When police arrived the next morning, Grace was already gone. They found her hours later, sitting alone in a church pew in Savannah, waiting. At trial, jurors heard everything: the abuse, the pregnancies, the medical records. They didn't call her innocent, but they didn't call her evil either. Grace Hollister was sentenced to decades in prison, a punishment that came too late to save anyone. This story isn't about revenge. It's about what happens When people tell women to stay silent, to endure, to pray harder, violence doesn't start loud. It starts tolerated. And by the time it ends, everyone loses. If this story stayed with you, subscribe to Top Story. Because true crime isn't just about what people do. It's about what happens when no one stops it in time.